Hello and welcome to game number 3 between MorroW and Socke. MorroW will be playing as the blue Zerg player at the 6 o'clock location, and Socke will be playing as the red Protoss player at the 9 o'clock position. This is GG Your Face, and the map is going to be Lost Temple, and it seems that MorroW has scouted Socke immediately after he spawned, and there will be one gateway going up at the top of the ramps for Socke at the moment, and MorroW looks like he is going to continue what he has done in game numbers 1 and 2, which is grabbing the extractor around 14, and probably a spawning pool will be coming down momentarily as he had saved up a lot of those minerals. Meanwhile, in the base of Socke, he has recently started the assimilator, and if you have not seen games number 2 and 1, you should definitely see those games because there was some really great action between these two players. The strategy was about the same, but there were so many minute differences that make those two games almost completely different. While we take a look at the base of Socke, he has opened up another pylon here on the edge. This pylon will allow him to warp in units on the outside, as well as allow him to build units inside his base as well. And there is going to be the spawning pool very soon, as the probe is trying to harass the drone, trying to pull off 1 or 2 drones, or maybe even kill off, and 2 drones get on it, and the probe does run away very smartly right when the shield depletes. The Cybercore is going to continue this wall off. This is a good wall off because the pylons are not exposed. Usually do not want to expose your pylons because pylons can be blown up by the banelings. And we noticed that the gas once again is off, but he has gotten 4 more gas. That's 1 more extra trip, but that's no problem. He is getting the metabolic boost for his Zerglings, and the Zerglings will come out right now, and the Zerglings might be able to kill off the probe. The Zerglings rushing to the ramp, preventing the probe from escaping, and at the same time he probably wants to save some minerals, possibly for that hatchery that is going to go up, and the probe is not going to make it outside, and it will go down. So that is about 50 minerals lost for Socke, as Socke does have 1 Zealot blocking the ramp. And this Zealot is not yet on hold position. He's only on stop, which is not a great thing. You always want it to be on hold position because you do not want to let those Zerglings in. And if we take a look inside the base of Socke, it looks like he's on 2 gases, whereas MorroW is not on any gas. So the income will show a differential in the terms of that. But of course, the Zerg player is ahead in terms of minerals, and chrono boosts are being spent on the Cybercore to chrono boost the warp gate technology. He's also going to be constructing 2 gateways inside of his base, 1 over here and 1 over here. He does have pylons very well spread out through his base, so he can put up hidden structures if he likes to. There is going to be an overlord overlooking the natural expansion for Socke, so Socke might get scouted if he decides to expand here. And these 2 Zerglings still wanting to get in more probes, and more drones are being produced at the moment, and more sentries are going to be created. Sentries are some of the units you should make if you want to have them in your army, because if you make them earlier, they will have more energy, and more energy usually means a more useful sentry. Another queen is going to come to the natural expansion, as another queen is about to be spawned as well, and some drones are being transferred as these 2 Zerglings still trying to get inside the base of Socke, and MorroW is microing them very carefully. The Zerglings are trying to get around. He almost had a chance there, but he did not want to get risk shot by those sentries, and it looks like he's going to go around once again, and more sentries are going to show up, and it looks like that might be the end of the line for these Zerglings, and the Zerglings will go down, and the army size is at 39 to 40, awfully close, and the income does reflect that the Zerg player has taken 1 gas, whereas the Protoss player has taken 2 gas, but the Zerg player does have more mineral income because he has focused a little bit more on those harvesters, and he will be putting down 1 spine crawler because he has spotted these units coming on the minimap, but he should really move the Zergling, but that's okay. It's only 25 minerals, but then it does really add up. He might consider moving this one as the 4 sentries along with 2 Zealots are coming across, and of course the Protoss player, Socke can warp in units anytime, anywhere he likes. As long as there is a pylon near, and it looks like he will be taking his own nexus at his own natural expansion as well. And more spine crawlers are going down. Spine crawlers are a good defensive structure, but if you're forcing your opponent to put down spine crawlers just by the fact that you're moving across the map, that is a really good way to try to get your opponent to get rid of their economical advantage. And it looks like the Zerg player is still on 2 gas, and the Protoss player is on 2 gas as well, and the gas does show about equal income, as they should be equal, as the third one is not going to go online anytime soon, and there is going to be a third one now. 2 spine crawlers have finished, and there is a lot of units for Socke, mostly sentries. You really want those to get early as possible. and the Nexus is going to get online, and a lot of those probes are going to transfer immediately over. And I think both of these players are very happy to play a macro-oriented game, as there's one overlord showing the natural expansion of Socke has been taken, and he's also going to be grabbing his third as well as his third gas, it looks like. And MorroW is not putting any drones into these two gases, but it looks like he will now. And if we take a look at the unit composition, both players have fairly high number of drones and probes. The Protoss player has a lot of those sentries. Sentries will be able to help him greatly, whereas the Zerg player is lacking in that department. He only has one Zergling and about 7 roaches. That is not sufficient to deal with this size of an army from Socke, and more roaches are being made and more spine crawlers are being put down. I think it is sort of a response in panic, and here we go. The Protoss player, Socke, is going to charge in here, as some of these creep tumors will show MorroW that his opponent is coming, and it looks like 5 spine crawlers are going to go up. 3 of them are building at the moment, and Socke is going to back off once again. Socke is very, very successful at just forcing his opponent to do stuff that his opponent is not willing to do normally if he were not under pressure. And I think Socke applying constant pressure is a very, very good way for him to try to maintain or gain that economical advantage. If we take a look at the income tab now, both players still about the same, but the Protoss player is almost caught up completely because he moved those units back and forth, forcing the Zerg player to spend about 500 minerals worth of spine crawlers. I think at this point MorroW has realized that all Socke wanted to do was to make him spend more money on his defense. And I think he is going to pop them up, and he is going to move them out. Very, very good play here from MorroW. It's not going to do him too much good to stay on 2 base if his opponent is going to go on 3 bases, and he has spotted it with his overlord here. He does know that his opponent has taken down the gold expansion, it looks like, and he will also take down the pylon over here, and he will be put his spine crawlers in a very defensive fashion. All 5 of them lined up in a straight line. I really do like that formation. And the unit counting station does show there are about 93 versus 107 of those units, and Socke really needs to make more probes as he is doing so. And more creep tumors are being spread, and there will be a +1 upgrade for the forces of Socke. And Socke does have one very sneaky pylon over here, and he does also have one probe here to check on whether or not his opponent is going to expand. It looks like both are still on 2 base at the moment. Anytime they want, they could probably grab the 3rd base, because neither of them are showing much aggression, and the changeling has gone down. If we take a look at both players' vision, we could see that I believe MorroW could see all of the base of Socke, because he did drop one changeling there that was there for quite a while, and the Overseer is still here. The Overseer can drop down another changeling in another about 30 or so seconds. And if we take a look at the vision of Socke, he doesn't see too much. All he sees is the spawning pool, and the 5 spine crawlers that was over here. But the spine crawlers have then since moved, and there is a roach warren and an evolution chamber that he does not yet see. The armor size is at 107 to 133 advantage for the Zerg player, but of course that advantage is going to be negated by the +1 if they should engage. But the Zerg player already has the +1, so the Protoss player has got to hold off here. He might want to put a couple of those force field, good force field placement, will be able to take down, looks like, 1 roach after that encounter. Ooh, no, the roach actually survived. That is very, very good play from MorroW. He actually survives that entire encounter, have all of his units intact. I think only 1 or 2 units went down there. And the probe is moving back and forth on the side. Another engagement is going to go, and all the force field going, and the roaches burrowing right away and killing off about 3 roaches that time. Not too big of an engagement, and this Zealot is probably going to die. And I think the Protoss player wants to engage. He is going to have 1 Colossus on the way, and the spine crawlers are getting into position. The spine crawlers are not yet burrowed. The roaches are coming in to support the spine crawler, but this spine crawler might go down as he's really, really close to death. And he does go down. He will take down 1 sentry in exchange. I believe 1 stalker as well. Some of these roaches are going down. About 5 roaches have gone down. And the Protoss is in full retreat. He wants to keep his units alive. Protoss units are really expensive. The Colossus does show up in the nick of time. It does get chrono boosted, and the Colossus might get picked off here. He is going to the high ground. Very, very smart, because the roaches do not have vision of that high ground. Unless the... Ooh, he actually does have vision of the high ground. So the Colossus will be able to push these roaches back. The Thermal Lance has not yet been upgraded, so he doesn't have the range for the Colossus. And in the meantime, Zealots are going to charge this hatchery, and the hatchery is going down very quickly. He might be able to take down this hatchery. It's going to be 500, and it's low 400 sounds, 300, 200. It's going really low. Will he be able to do it? It's at 100. And I think there was a transfuse that went on. It's at 59, 43, 20, 28. Oh man, that was really close. I think the roaches are going to try to look for that pylon that gave him the trouble, and I think the probe is going to put up another pylon, and it looks like he is going to miss the pylon in the corner over here, and more roaches are being created. I mean, more and more drones are being created, along with a Hydralisk then and a Spire. I think MorroW might not be fooled by that, and there's more of those Zealots. Zealots are coming across, and there's only 287 HP on that hatchery, and the Zealots are going to come here. Ooh, the roaches actually left the Zealots alone for a bit. The Zealots are coming. They might be able to take down this hatchery. If he takes down the hatchery, that would be really good for Socke, but he is not going to be able to take it down. That is good play by MorroW there. Army size is at 139 to 141, just neck and neck between these two players. Upgrades are 1-0 for both players. Ooh, actually 1-1 for Socke, as Socke does have two Colossus. He does have an Observer, and this Colossus is trying to kill off stuff. And ooh, a volley from the roaches takes down one of the Colossus, takes down both the Colossus. Great play there from MorroW. MorroW will be retreating here. He's got to be really happy with that play. And there are, looks like, two robotics facility, and he is going to be chrono boosting more and more Colossus out. That was a really good snipe by MorroW, catching the greedy Colossus off guard, killing off the creep on the side. There is one Observer here, and it looks like the Zealots are going to come here one more time to try to kill off this hatchery, but that's not going to happen. And the hatchery is going up here, but strangely enough, there's a pylon over here that is being killed off by one of those roaches. Roaches coming into the side. The Nexus was cancelled, the pylon was cancelled as well, and oh no, the roaches are in a really bad position. They cannot run away, and they can only retreat back a little bit, and more Stalkers are warping, and this is a really bad position. The roaches should fight right now, because if he doesn't fight, there's really no way for him to go. He's got to unburrow and fight. He is going to lose about 2-3 volleys of shots worth of stuff onto the Protoss player, and he is going to lose all of these roaches. 11 more roaches coming right along with two of those Colossus. The unit counting station does show an advantage for the Protoss player after that engagement, and this is like a Cold War, except this war is fought with imaginary creatures and laser beams. Pew pew! The line has been drawn in the sand, but that sand is being melted and turned into glass by these beams from the Colossus. Colossus is going to move forward and pick off more and more of these things, as we do see 5 Corruptors are going to come on the field for MorroW, and MorroW is losing a lot of creep. This is gotta hurt for any Zerg player to see all the creep getting destroyed, all the precious creep. And this creep tumor is still alive, and he's going to leave it. Oh no, he will take it down, and the army count is about 156 to 155, very close between these two players. 1-1 upgrade versus, it looks like 2-0, and the Corruptors are coming in. We will see a huge engagement here between these three Colossus. Colossus needs to be taken down for the Zerg player. He is going to go in, and all of the Protoss units are falling back, and the Corruptors are able to kill one Colossus right away, and the roaches along with the Hydralisk are going focusing fire, and the Colossus is on the high ground. That is a good play from that Colossus, unless that was an accident, but that's cool too. And the Colossus are roasting these Hydras. Hydras do have very little HP, and the Zerg player is forced to fall back, once again losing that battle, but he is macroing up very well, macroing up even a little bit better than the Protoss player, and this Queen might go down, and a lot of these drones will go down as well. This Colossus is slightly out of position. The Roach is trying to kill him off, and he's going to go down as well. 2 or 3 more roaches spawn inside the hatchery. Was able to kill off that Colossus. Another Colossus over here. The roaches is going really close to it. Wants to take it out immediately, and the roaches might be able to. More and more roaches will re-engage, and he does take down the Colossus as well. That +2 upgrade does really help those roaches a lot, and he's going to kill off some of these retreating Stalkers. And we do see a Dark Shrine in the base of Socke, and that has got to be really good. And some probes are getting transferred over to the high yield expansion. And where is that Dark Shrine? Ooh, there it is, at the gold expansion. There are going to be some roaches coming in to do some harass, and it looks like the cannons are up and just in time. And oh no, MorroW is going to try to come in here once again, and I think this is not a good commitment, as he does have the Colossus here with some cannons, and more roaches are going to try to engage. The unit loss tab does show both players are about even, only separated about 1,000 or so. That is still very close at this stage of the game, and a lot of these probes are being killed off. And if we take a look at the probe count, probes are actually still ahead of the drones, as a lot of those drones were picked off at the goal over here when this base was taken down. He should probably put down a hatchery over here, because he probably does want the goal a little bit more than the normal one, but he does not yet have enough minerals. That's why a hatchery is not going up there. And the Dark Shrine is about to be complete. Look at that glorious Dark Shrine. This is one of the prettiest structures in the game, I think. And there's going to be Dark Templars somewhere, and 3 Dark Templars are going to go next to these roaches, see if they're going to engage. And I think the roaches did see the Dark Templars coming. And the Dark Templars are going to go across the map, possibly to the expansions of the Zerg player. And it looks like the Dark Templars are going to split up. And there's an Overseer coming in here. And the Overseer will probably be able to catch some of these Dark Templars. And the Dark Templars are going to go to the natural expansion. He sees it over here. There is also one Sparkler, very, very good play. And there are going to be one Dark Templar over here killing off the Sparkler, another Dark Templar over here killing off some drones, and there's Dark Templar everywhere. But I believe the Dark Templar at the natural expansion at the 3 o'clock position has